I wanted to start out the day by sending out a big thank you to Jean Hewitt, who is in fragile health. She loaned us all these beautiful tablecloths, which I think make the room so much nicer, such bright and cheery. And of course, other bright and cheery are the beautiful floral arrangements that Marilyn Joyce made. Raise your hand, Marilyn. At this time, I'd like to ask the membership table, how many people have arrived? We have 36
members.
36 members, and that may be 37. And we have 2 guests. I'd like to introduce Heather Hafley and Shira Freely. And the happy news is that they're both interested in joining. If you will meet her later, but our Sundar Shadi recipient is sitting right here, Mark Heckman. And I'm so excited that she's with us. Okay, let's see, where are we? I'd like to thank Bernadette for doing all the food and food arrangements and the setup. And also her assistants, Rosemary and Jeanette. And I don't think she's here, Regina Gillian?
No, she's not.
She's not here. She has done massive numbers of beautiful pieces of publicity for the garden club. So maybe we'll put that on Marianne's list of send a card. To thank her for her work.
Very nice.
Pam, are you ready for the treasurer's report? We're gonna project it, so.
Yep.
All right, so this is November's report, and a couple things pointed out.
I'm sharing the report.
What's there?
Yes.
All right, so this number right here, income for the month, which is a very nice number, it's going on $2,500, is mostly a result of our very successful plant sale. So, yeah. Congratulations to everyone. And then we did have some expenses, and the expenses were largely some from the brochure that Landry had printed up, which if you were at the plant sale, you had a chance to see that, and the speaker from last meeting, but that our total treasury is of course larger than it was last month. So that's very nice. Any questions about that? No. Pardon me? Current balance? Current balance?
Say it out loud.
Is that what you're asking? Here.
Could you say it out loud?
The current balance is $12,011.82. So that's what we have in our treasury. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you so much, Pam, for doing that job. We need officers, so keep your options. I've neglected to point out that on the table with the orange, tablecloth there are old yearbooks. And from the garden club, and they start in 1958 and go up through the 90s, and they're really fun to look at. So if you haven't had a chance to stop by that table, do so during the break. All right, it's time to call on my co-president, Landry Wildman, who did an amazing job organizing our plant sale. And she's going to speak with us about a number of things.
Hi, everybody. So I know that you guys have all heard this before. So I just want to briefly say, thanks so much to every one of you that grew plans, that helped publicize the sale, even when we moved the date. Do you realize we had probably twice as many plants as we could sell? And at the end of the day, a lot of us were standing around and looking at all these plants and going, oh no, the plant sale didn't make any money because all the plants are still here. No, we had so many plants that we actually sold more plants at this fall sale with the heat wave and everything else than we sold last spring. So I want you to know that sometimes massive effort in the face of opposition works out fine. Thank you all very much for helping at the sale itself, the day of, and especially help to Robin and Howdy, who Robin was there all day long, and Howdy put out all those wonderful sidewalk signs that told people that we were in business. I think that that's a really effective advertisement for the sale, and it worked out great. I also want to thank Pam Austin, who was also there from start to finish. So thank you, those of you who were out there watering in August and September and wondering what was going to survive. And thanks to all of you who helped make it successful, because it certainly was. What this tells us is we can have a fall plant sale. We can make as much money at the fall plant sale as we ever make in the spring. Because it turns out people are beginning to get it, that the time to plant is now. And they're buying plants in the autumn because they understand a lot of things over winter better. You really want good sweet peas, they're in the ground now. So just want to remind you guys, you did great, and we're going to do it again this spring. And I know nothing succeeds like success. So remember, we succeed when we make a plant sale happen. Thank you. Okay, so that was the fun part. You all know when I stand up here, there's going to be a demand for some help, right? Everybody knows that. We sent around wonderful committee lists last month, and thank you, all of you who signed up to be on committees. We have a couple of almost orphan committees left. I know this would never have happened in a better year, but this year we have a few openings. The committee the program committee, the chair organizes those meetings and puts them together, but the members bring their ideas, their opinions, and their decisions to figure out what's going to be the next year's program. We're really looking forward to having an active program committee. Right now, Bernadette is the only person on here besides Karen Houston, and we can't have that because Karen likes to delegate. If the table's empty, you know how that's going to work out. No programs. So I want to pass this around to all the groups today. Sort of rethink. Remember, program committee isn't so much work as its opinions, and we all have those. there's another committee, which before the plant sale, I was serving on, and I was sort of rubbing my head and wondering what we were ever gonna do about money this year. We seem to be really short of operating funds. And then when we had the plant sale, I felt better about being on the budget committee, so I'm gonna sign off. And I wanna ask all of you who wanna say in what we end up spending our money on. Really, power and influence, it's all right here, folks. Join me, because in the summertime, when everything is quiet and there's no garden committee, there's no committee meetings, there's no garden club meeting. This is what we are doing. We are deciding and planning for next year. So remember, we're gonna have money to spend. It's gonna be fun. So sign up. Thank you. And then my third offer, I saved the best for last. Do you ever, all of you old folks remember when we used to have awards in the garden club? You know that the Bay Bridges is our district, our area. The Bay Bridges district has an awards program. They offer every club the chance to nominate members of their club for special notice, special recognition. And it's really neat. You get a thing you can hang on your wall and everybody asks you about it and or not. And you get awards for all kinds of things that you wouldn't have thought of. I actually wanted to ask that we have an awards committee this year for a couple of special people. All of you might not be aware that Barbara Post is not doing well, not able to be here, and is probably going to need someone else to take over this spring's Bouquets to Art. This is not something I'm recruiting for today. Just breathe and think about doing it, because if you've ever been part of our Bouquets to Art, you realize it's just as meaningful as the spectacular show over at the DeYoung. And it's so much more meaningful to us because it's our friends and colleagues who are producing the art. And yes, the art we bring and select is important to making it work, but what really makes magic is the art we create when we put together plant materials to honor a particular piece. Usually it's a visual piece, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a poem. It could be a write-up of a memory. It could be any number of things. But most of the time, you all remember Barbara Post laying out the calendars 2 or 3 months before the event and suggesting, look through those calendars. You're going to find an easy piece to work with, and it's portable, and you won't have any trouble getting it back to the day of the event. So I want to ask you to think about who's going to be making sure we have Bouquets to Art this year. It might not be Barbara. And the reason I'm mentioning Barbara in particular is I would love for her to get an award for outstanding service to our club. And I think Bouquets to Art is so well documented. We have so many pictures from previous years that we could put together a nomination for her, even if that's all we do this year, really. And so I want to ask those of you who are willing to consider being involved in the committee that honors Barbara Post. Would that be something you would be willing to do? If so, come and see me, because we're going to want to organize a plan for getting this package filled out for Barbara. Any hands? Anybody want to help me? Oh, thank you, Paula. Yes. Okay. So these are the orphan committees for this year. I'm hoping that by doing something this meaningful for Barbara, that we remember, oh yeah, somebody else in the club deserves special mention. Oh, we have a wonderful school project. Has it ever gotten the award? You know, I want to know these things. And actually, we need archaeology in order to find out who needs to get awards, because it's been a very long time since we've had an awards committee. This is BC, before COVID. So you all know, it's a long time ago. All right, come and see me, and all you have to say is, yes, I'll help with Barbara, and I'll take it from there with you. All right? Thank you very much, everybody. One more committee. One more committee. Oh. Sorry, one more committee that we need volunteers for is the Christmas tree committee. No, well, I don't know who they are. Okay, anybody here signed up for that? Because Maury Ange, oh good, Linda. Okay, so Maury Ange has taken over that project. She doesn't know who her committee is. So she asked me to announce today that she needed people. Excellent, okay, thank you. Anybody else who wants to join, that is putting up our tree in a public place. It will probably be the El Cerrito Police Station, and it's a very fun 2 hours to decorate it and eat some candy together.
All right. Thank you, Landry, for all the work you do in organizing the committees and drumming up business. She's pretty good at that. Let's see, we're on to, does anybody have any announcements about garden activities? Mark? Oh, we're doing Penny Pines? Okay, we can do Penny Pines now.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
Just wanted to take a moment. Laverne and I have been married for almost 60 years. We met in Germany. She's from Florida and I'm from Colorado. But anyway, I just wanted to say that during those 60 years, we've almost always been part of the garden club. And as we reflect back on these different groups that we've been part of, garden club has been really important. I was talking to my daughter just yesterday, and I said, you know, Laurel or Erica, we really appreciate your inviting us to come and live in close proximity of you. And more also, the opportunity to participate with the variety of groups here in this community. And these are great groups, but this is a very special group. And it has a history. One part of the history is the many times over. 50 years plus, you guys have been collecting more than coins. And now we collect dollars primarily, but coins are also welcome. But we have two guests here, and at the same time, we are remembering these little guys that live in the forest, celebrating these rains that we're getting now. I could just hear the trees this morning by them saying, wow, this is great. Well, this is a great place to live. This is a great club. And the Penny Pines is just one small part of it, but we appreciate so much your contributing. And then, look who came back. The exciting trip that she took once again to visit her family in multiple places. And here she is again, and we're so lucky to have such wonderful leadership. Thank you.
Thank you, Clark. So as you see on the table, our penny pine boxes, so be generous. And we will be hopefully getting some checks out really soon to have some trees planted. Let's see, the other main announcement is Paula Shu is going to tell us about a wonderful opportunity for our garden club regarding a Hanukkah festival.
So my friend is the organizer of the annual Temple Beth Hillel Festival of Lights annual Hanukkah fair, and she has offered us at no charge to come and have a table at their Hanukkah fair on December 8th. We can sell plants. She said any plant stuck in a pot would be good. So I'm thinking we have leftovers from the sale. And I need people to tell me they have plants or that they want to sit at this table. It's only 2 hours long. If you want to, you can flock us. Great thing. So I have little hand printouts here. If you're interested. What time is it? I think it's noon to 2. December 8th is a Sunday. Noon to 2. The Temple Beth Hillel is off of the Hilltop exit on Park Central. So it's in the Hilltop area. So is there anyone who has plans they can donate or wants to sit?
I might go, sit.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a piece of paper and a pen over where I'm sitting, and if you want to put your name down to help in any way, with plant donations or whatever, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. I think this would be a great opportunity for us to spread the word about the garden club. We might gather some new members from this event, and it sounds like an enjoyable and fun thing to do. Okay, let's see. We're going to speak about our study groups. Anna, would you like to talk about succulents and herb group? The herb group, will meet, we meet the first Thursday of the month. December is going to be done at the home of Leda Mackey, and she's going to be featuring Chipino. So we're usually limited to about 12 people, depending on who is hosting. But anyway, that will be our next one. And then the succulent group, which meets sporadically through the year, particularly when we're going to have sales, is going to do a special mini wreath. You can see how mini these are. This is actually the bigger of the two. This is the 4-inch, and we're also going to have 3-inch. But these will be decorated. If I had, hopefully, I thought I could get one decorated before today. There might be a little ribbon at the top and just some succulents at the bottom glued onto some moss. Very similar to the little pumpkins that we do that actually did very well at the sale. I mean, they flew off the table pretty quickly. But we're going to be doing these at my house on December 2nd. If people want to participate, just email me. We have a lot of supplies. What we're be looking for is really small succulents, because you won't fit very many on these. But these were done, I first saw these at the Botanical Garden last year. It was done for some students, but then they actually sold them for $25. But Paula, we can certainly have some of these in time for your,
Yeah.
but so for people who want to participate, just let me know. I think I picked up about 16 of these, and Cece ordered maybe 24 of the 3-inch. So let me know if you want to participate or if you have small succulents that you need to be thinned. It'll be fun, and they're cute. They're really, really adorable when they're done. But when we say, it's a little deceiving when we say wreaths, because they really are small. But they'd be very cute little centerpieces or party favors for a dinner, or ornaments.
Yeah.
True. Because they need, there'll be succulents on there. The succulents are fine in the glue. We just glue them on, and they do fine. And they'll live for as long as you just don't give them too much water.
Yeah.
And give them some light. Thank you, Anna, and Anna is famous also for those wonderful pumpkins that were planted with succulents that you saw at the plant sale. Me. Okay, Sarah, would you like to report on the high school garden? Well, the school garden is doing really well, looks good. We have a new young woman who's, been hired by, a group called Growing Together. That's kind of, that's a nonprofit that's kind of over the garden. And, she's doing a really good job. This new rain, I'm waiting for a lot of weeds to be popping up pretty soon, but things look really good. The native plants are doing well, fruit trees are doing well. And, so, oh, and we've had lots and lots of monarchs this year because our narrow leaf milkweed has really spread. We had some, the gold fritillaries, and then we're also growing pipeline. We haven't seen any, pipeline swallowtails yet, but we're looking forward to that. I think that's about it. If anybody ever wants to make a donation to the garden, this new woman is paid, and so that would be helpful in, keeping her on. Any questions?
Sarah?
Yeah.
Do you still have a work day and do you want to tell
Oh,
people
yeah,
in case they want to
well, every
come?
Monday, we work in the garden for about an hour and a half, from 10 to about 11:30. Just watering, weeding, pruning, whatever needs to be done. And I have several volunteers to come and do that. If you ever want to come, let me know. And, what you would do is sign in at the front office and then walk through the school to the garden. Thank you.
Sarah has been doing this job for a long time and we're very grateful. We've recently been joined by Bernadette, and anybody else who would like to be on that committee, please see Sarah.
Yes, Bernadette has been wonderful.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
Martha, did you want to speak about the natives?
Thank you. So another study group that we have that meets on Zoom is about native plants. And we didn't meet last month. Robin Mitchell coordinates it, but I'm her co-coordinator. And anyone who isn't already on the email list to hear about those meetings, I'm happy to add you to that list of people. We just talk about different native plant subjects every month, or sometimes there isn't a specific topic and people just say whatever they are thinking about and share pictures. So I've learned a lot from that group, and anyone is welcome to join us. As I say, it's just a Zoom meeting, so just an hour once a month on Zoom. I also wanted to say about study groups in general, that in the past, the Garden Club has had more study groups than we have right now. We used to have a propagation group. In the past, there was a flowers specialty group. There used to be a group that arranged field trips to different gardens. So anyone who has a particular interest and thinks that other people in the club might also be interested, please start a group. It's not too big a deal. It's informal. But when I first joined the club, it's how I met people. You know, at a big meeting like this, it's a little hard to get to know people well. You say hi to everybody, but how do you become friends? And for me, it was joining the herb group and seeing those 11 people, for lunch every month. So any topic that's somewhat garden or nature related, it would be great for a new study group. Could be photography, could be, I can't think of anything. I don't know. succulents is already taken care of, but, so please think about that if you want. We've also had an edibles study group, and I don't know if there is a meeting planned. So right now, the edibles group is kind of on hold.
So we did have an edibles group, and so of course that's vegetables and that sort of thing. But we had very low participation. So this is one of my favorite things. And I would like to know if you're have an interest in meeting in the future. Of course, winter is not the greatest time. Well, hopefully you've already planted your fall full season plants, but in the spring, just think about it. And we also can have very interesting conversations about growing vegetables in your garden. Okay?
Thanks, Pam.
Okay, so take that off. We got edibles. Any chance that Kate's gonna bring back the flowers?
Like to sit with someone, so if anybody else in this group has an impact on flowers, it was just a discussion group in the past.
If anyone is interested in doing a flower group, I would like to co-host it with someone. In the past, it was a discussion group, and we often had a guest speaker. Pam was our guest speaker and talked about edible flowers and that kind of thing. And it was a fun group. It just kind of, fell apart. So if anybody is interested, just talk to me and maybe we can figure something out. It was. Thank you. And an example of Kate's flowers are the beautiful roses. There's pink roses in that vase. They're the door, and these are some of her flowers. Marilyn, did you have a comment? I think our next order of business is what our holiday meeting is going to be. So in the past, June Lundquist and myself made floral arrangements for every table. And this year I'm asking that the membership participate. And Marilyn Joyce is going to be in charge of volunteers who are willing to bring a floral arrangement for our table. And it can be a general arrangement or it can have a holiday theme. And I've already told her that I would bring two. So other people who are interested in bringing floral arrangements for that meeting, we would be most grateful. So you can see Marilyn during our break and sign up for that. Additionally, we do not have a speaker for our Christmas event. So my idea was that we would have some volunteers from the membership who would like to share maybe 3 minutes of a holiday tradition from your family or a crazy experience that happened to you around the holidays or a beautiful childhood memory. So if you are interested in doing that, let me know. I'd love to have a little list of the program that we're going to have on our next holiday meeting. And I didn't write the date down. But it's the second Thursday in December.
And it's a potluck.
And it's a potluck, sorry. Yes, and so you're all going to be contributing to this wonderful event with food and flowers and stories.
So we are meeting here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are here. We've gone over this idea about going out or having catering, and it's expensive, and people enjoy sharing their special dishes. So I look forward to greeting all of you on our holiday meeting. I'd like to call on Mallory from the plant table or Norma. Thank you, Mallory, Norma, and Sharda. Yes.
Holiday put under the day. holiday function. It's regular meeting.
12 to 2.
Did we change, where's Landry? Did we change the time
Yes,
to
12 to 2.
11?
We set up at 11,
12 to 2.
Thank you.
setting up at 11.
This lady has hearing aids and Landry has Max. So Martha is my interpreter.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, plant table. Mallory's started writing a little list here. There's a tray of Lithia ground cover on the table. Was that spoken for already? I know someone was interested.
Louise wants some of it.
Okay, Louise wants some of it. There's, I think about maybe 6 or 7 pots. It's a nice ground cover. The leaves are small. The flowers are small. The flowers are white. And when I was talking to Mallory, my head was wrapped around different plants, so I really don't know this one myself.
Oh.
But they're only $4 each. And this is a perfect time to put them in the ground. There is a primrose. It doesn't have flowers on it yet. Does anybody here collect primroses? There's a primrose on the table there that you may or may not know. It's a nice healthy one. There are 2 aloes. They're very pretty. I don't, I've seen one and the other one I don't know at all. And I'm just giving you lists, so you get to go look at them. Let's see, there is a geranium plant. Has no flowers on it. It's a Martha Washington type, so it's really a pelargonium.
Yes.
So that's there. Okay, let me see. Don't. And we do still have spider plants. I know that we've been getting them off and on for a long time. These are 2 nice little ones, and if you want to get one, they're $1. So here they are. And I think the last thing that we have is, thank you, Norma. You guys have that problem? The mini agapanthus.
Ah, yeah.
This is a really good time to put these into. I'm really not sure if the label has white or blue on it, but they're nice plants. So come and take them because otherwise they're going to end up in December
Okay.
at Hanukkah.
Thanks, Norma. We really appreciate the garden club's plant table and the volunteers who work it, and for the people who also bring plants for that table. So thank you all for contributing to that. We also have a white elephant table, and we'd love to have you just make a small donation for something that's on that table. All this goes to benefit our garden club, as does the sale of the plants. So it's all volunteers. There. Thank you. So, white elephant table, please take home what you brought if it didn't sell. Thank you so much. Let's see if I've covered everything. I think so. Following our special program, we will have a drawing. So stay tuned. We're running a little late. I think we'll have a 15-minute break and reconvene about 5 minutes after 11. So browse the plant table, browse the white elephant sale, get some lovely food and chat. Thank you. So you're not getting rid of me very, very soon because, this is our Sundar Shadi presentation day. And I believe this is my 4th year of chairing the Sundar Shadi Front Yard Garden Awards. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sundar Shadi. I'm having some competition with the rain. It's crazy. So Chris, whenever you're ready, we can put up the first 2 slides.
Okey-doke.
Who was Sundar Shadi and why is there an award in his name? In June 1900, Sundar Lambda was born in Shadi, a small village in the Punjab of India. He lived on a farm with his parents, 4 brothers and 1 sister. During a violent Muslim uprising, the family fled to Pakistan. 1 brother was killed, another died in World War I. As a boy, Sundar was sent to Muslim Sikh schools. Because of the importance of agriculture in the region, he was encouraged to study pomology, the science of agriculture. Sundar came to UC Berkeley in 1921, and in 1926 received his BS in pomology. He returned briefly to the Punjab, but returned to the US, where his name was permanently changed to Sundar Sikh Shadi. He returned further to UC to study, where he received a master's degree in subtropical horticulture. At the university, he met Dorothy Clotel Clark. They married in 1934, bought a piece of property on the Arlington, and there they built their own home and lived, here we go, and lived for their entire married life. He had a long life, dying at 101. Sometime during that time, he and his wife purchased 2 adjacent lots, and those became these amazing florals that you see in this picture. He started out by just planting a few plants, and they grew into huge blankets of what looked like Persian carpets on the hillside. He began planting flowers in elaborate designs,
Which one she has.
and interestingly enough, he would plant them so that they would all bloom at the same time. Additionally, he would go out and hand water the plants. When neighbors began decorating for Christmas, he and his wife decided to honor their Christian friends by putting up a star. That was the first of what became the most amazing display of Christmas figures that probably many of you are familiar with. It started as a single star and it ended up with 100 buildings of the town of Bethlehem. His wife did the costumes for the figures that were in the manger and in the town of Bethlehem. This is now owned by a nonprofit group that every year puts up the display at the top of Mosier during the holidays. And I'm sure a lot of you remember it from when you were kids. And you probably remember, if you were raised in this area, you probably remember this beautiful design of his Persian carpet flowers. Sundar was also a supporter of many community activities and including going into the public schools. And I believe Marilyn was speaking today with me about when he went to one of the schools that she attended. So over the years, he received many awards for his civic contributions. In 1996, he gave the El Cerrito Garden Club a donation of $500 for the beautification of the city of El Cerrito. And that is the origin of the Sundar Shadi Front Yard Garden Award that the Garden Club has perpetuated in his name. I was very grateful for Martha Jackson introducing me to an amazing film about Sundar Shadi. You can find it on YouTube, and it's entitled Mr. Shadi's Gift. In that presentation is Barbara Post, Cleda Mackey, and an early member of the club, Audrey Miller. Before my time, I don't know if anybody here remembers her. Cleda does, because that was your era, I guess. Now, every spring, the Garden Club nominates Garden Club members and members of the community nominate front yard gardens for this award. This year, we had 27 nominees. Gardens are judged for overall design, drought tolerance, interesting features, pollinator plants, harmony with the home, theme, unique plants, and use of natural landscape. I would like to thank particularly this year's judges, Elisa Etzel, Martha Jackson, Bernadette Roger, Marion Kemp, Fong Lee, Eileen Libby, and Kate Steinel, and Landry Wildman. Thank you all for the effort you put in. And what happens is that with the 27 nominees, that's a lot, too much for each of us to go to every one. So I divided the list into 3 groups. 4 judges went to each of those on their list. And then the top judging in each list became our finalists. And we had 12 finalists. I am very excited to have our finalist, Martha Heckman, whose home at 750 Albemarle Street was one of our awards. It's a very unusual year because we usually give 3 awards. The 3rd award never responded. And we're not sure what happened. And sadly, I recently drove by that property and it's kind of gone to rack and ruin. So I'm not sure what happened, but at any rate, we had 2 wonderful gardens. Our other garden, which was at 7317 Cutting, the house was sold and the owner has moved. So I'll be talking about that garden following Martha's presentation. So I wanted to say, this is what the judges said about Martha's garden. A succulent paradise, artistically designed succulent garden with rocks used as accents, all highlighted with red Japanese maple trees and salvia. The side yard filled with conifers, ferns, rhododendrons, and a nice mix of other plants. A nice balance of color, depth, and height. 2 trees frame the front porch in this drought-tolerant garden. This well-maintained, mature garden goes beautifully with the house. And there is a major sidewalk strip of succulents, an intensely filled side yard with many textures. I love this comment from the judge. Not enough words to praise this enchanting use of a great variety of plants, every plant thriving. Beautiful flagstones, unifying and lush. Martha Heckman.
I don't know what to do.
Thanks, Louise, and
Please.
that incredible description. Doesn't sound like my garden, that's for sure. but that's
We're still
very-
in Mr.
I'm
Shadi.
sorry.
We're still in Mr. Shadi's slides.
Okay.
You didn't tell him to go
I'm
forward.
sorry.
So,
We're still working,
Yeah.
Mr. Shadi.
Sorry.
and then the runners up, remember? Do you want to skip all that?
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought they were going behind me.
No.
All right,
Yeah, so the finalists, want to go back one?
all right, now, oh, I forgot what we were doing. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, Martha.
His brain got overloaded today.
Yeah.
So these are some of the gardens that were finalists.
And didn't win.
So this is your competition.
Yeah, you can go.
This was an amazing garden, and Landry told me that they actually, it had won, maybe 9 years ago when Landry was chair. So it's a really lush garden with a little, beautiful little house in the back.
No, these are ones that didn't win. They were
Right.
runners up.
So these were one of the 12 finalists. And this one was interesting with the little, trellis that now has plants growing on it. Lots of salvia. And pride of Madeira.
Go ahead, yeah.
This is really a lush, sweet garden with lots of flowers, and I'm sure Kate voted for that one.
Go ahead.
Okay. And a really elegant kind of symmetrical garden with an accent of rhododendrons. Another detail of this beautiful little house on Stockton Street. It's a small garden, but it's very lush. And what happens when you
Okay, good.
participate in this judging is that you end up looking at front yard gardens on a regular basis, and it becomes so much more rich as you're driving around. So if you're interested, sign up and become a judge. So now, after my mistake, we'll hand this over to Martha Heckman. Thank you, Martha, for your beautiful garden.
Thanks, Louise. Well, this is, wow.
So,
Talking about Sundar Shadi, he was part of my, growing up too, because I rode horses at a stable down Rifle Range Road in El Cerrito or in Richmond. So every Saturday morning, the owner of the stable would get probably 20 or 25 of us teenage girls or young teenage girls in the back of his pickup. And we'd drive along the Arlington and we'd all say, "Hi, Mr. Shadi." And he was out every Saturday morning of the year working in his garden. So it's so nice that he's been honored, and that everybody appreciates what an amazing virgin carpet and amazing garden that he had year round while he was alive. And I'm glad that you guys are still keeping up with his, with his impact on the city. So anyway, thank you for nominating my garden, which was a total surprise. This is before and after. I think I bought the house 26 years ago, and it had huge black acacias all over. And when we looked out the window, all we saw were tree trunks. And we couldn't have any, so we finally ended up taking those out and learned that our big challenge is these kings of the forest, the redwood trees, which takes all the water, takes all the fertile, all the nutrients, and any water I give, they're right up there. So I've learned that our garden is a challenge with the redwoods. Those are the silent, invisible. That's the silent one. And then, of course, dealing with deer, and gophers, and squirrels, and turkeys, and raccoons, and the opossums. But, and we've learned that in this, environment, that succulents and salvias seem to be the things that work best. But we're learning that the gophers love agave. And, I'll come out and there'll be this nice agave, which is listing. And then I'll pull it up and the gopher's been right up there eating the lovely succulent base of it. Yeah, that's what's turned us, so we went from a red car to a white car. But we've just learned that, yeah, we took out those trees because they were ruining our foundations and sidewalks and stuff. So let's try another picture and see what comes up. Oh, okay, sorry, there's not too much. Yeah, we wanted to open up the front and the garden became, yeah, what's sculptural, adds color, and doesn't need a lot of water. So of course, it's the salvias and I think ice plant and the agaves do great different colors. And my brother, who's a landscaper, I've had successions of people come in and give me advice. So we kind of worked from the redwoods into having juniper and kind of trying to continue a bit of the alpine garden look. But I was too impatient to have all those grow in. So of course I started poking other stuff, mainly salvias, and succulents in between, and that's what's kind of taken over. And I can only say that having the last couple winters of lots of rain had really helped everything explode. And now I have to go in and start cutting stuff out, which is really exciting because usually I'm begging for stuff to grow. So with, yeah, so that was a big part of it. We got rid of fencing, but let's try another one so we can get through these guys. Oh yeah, there it is. We first put in maple trees probably when I bought the house back 25 years ago. As sort of trying to make up for the trees that we pulled out in the front. And they just kind of became the background. And then I've been trying to do, as the descriptions were, trying to have various heights. And kind of turned into a mishmash of planting stuff and actually all of it growing. So now I have to start editing it and figuring out what I really want in my garden, which I think is everybody's job in their garden. Is things always change. They're always changing, and that's kind of what's happening here. So another one. Is there any more?
There's a few more.
Oh yeah, this is what, started out with dirt, and we just really, my husband loves rocks, and so we've done a lot of work with rocks, and sometimes, oh yeah, the Linaria, really good old Annie's, bunch of Annie's stuff there, and that reseeded itself, and I think this is probably about 3 or 4 years ago, kind of the last of the Linaria has, I think I've had one flower this year, so it's time to re-up on them because they're wonderful call it cedars, something like that. Oh, this was it back when it was actually compact and looked way better than I think it does now. And a lot of these were just clippings from other areas, from making my walks up in the hills, or having wonderful friends who are landscapers, friends and family, and we were really lucky that it turned out to be so nice. Oh, there's a lovely truck. So that's what I guess people notice when they walk by. So it was just, to me, it's always a work in progress, and I appreciate that somebody noticed it and nominated it. So it's very honored. And my husband's sorry that he couldn't be here this morning. But I appreciate it and look forward to seeing the other gardens, and thank you for letting me have this award this year.
Yeah, so Martha, there's 20 more slides. But you don't,
More slides.
yeah, you don't have to talk about all of them. These are the ones we took while we were judging.
Oh, they look like, oh, okay. They
Yeah.
look like ones I took, but,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Uh,
That's before the Gophers got,
Oh,
okay.
So-
These are great.
Do you want to, if you want to say anything, or if you want Chris to just go slowly through them?
Let's just cruise on through. There's nothing.
yeah.
Curb strip, gorgeous.
Oh, right, yeah, we have our kind of super native side, which has the acacia and the ceanothus. And of course, they grew so big that they started scratching the side of the car, so. And then there's our agaves, which just go, oh, that was the presentation day,
Yeah.
which these guys just multiply like amazing, like rabbits. So if anybody wants any, they're welcome to come and chop some off.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was the morning of the presentation?
The color combinations.
Yeah, well, we were just really lucky that things survived. And I do have irrigation. I have to admit that I did put irrigation in because my husband and I are away several months of the year and can't expect friends and neighbors to water. So, oh yeah. So, yeah, between having the last couple winters of good water and irrigation during the summer, I've managed to create a monster.
That's what we all say when we succeed.
Right, and so, because oh yeah, that's Francoa. Somebody was asking about that, and Heather was able to tell me what that white flower is, which looks so nice amongst the green. Well, that's the good old, Mexican or
Mexican.
or something.
Tagetes.
And that's great. I never water it, and it just sprouts up and love it. Oh, there's me probably waking up. So thank you again. Oh, there's Greg. That's, we had just gotten, oh, and with my usual eyes closed, mouth open. It's my usual expression. Thank you again. It's a real honor to have the sign in my yard and people do walk by and look.
I think that's the last one.
So. I'll be there.
Yeah, yay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, please.
Thank you, Martha.
Then
You
there's
can
one
see
more,
by
like
those
women wearing
slides
the
how
next
lush
box.
and wonderful that garden is. And I didn't realize, Heather, you are one of the contributors to the garden.
Oh, advice, plenty of advice and discount at the nursery always helps. I do it for a living.
Okay, next
Well,
slide.
thank you so much. And I urge you all to go by that address and look at it in person because there's so much to see. So this is the wonderful house that was sold. This was,
Alexandra.
this was constructed by Alexandra Kovanip. And she was there to greet us the day of our presentation. You can actually see the Sundar Shadi sign laying on the sidewalk there. This interesting garden was kind of like a landscaper's dream. It's a very long, narrow house. And the ironwork fences add to the depth of the garden. And it turned out that the owner had a company, or has a company, I guess, that constructs fences like this and other kinds of garden art. She noticed that the gravel that she used is really beautifully coordinated with the color of the house. And it's primarily succulents. And this is the owner who has moved out of the area. But I'm sure that this garden helped to sell the house. And these particular plants are sort of controversial. I think they're papyrus, but we're not sure. There may be papyrus, but they're really make an incredible backdrop. And again, if you go there in person, you can see how the grasses in the back make like a palette for the plants that are in the front. And the garden, she dug up dirt from the backyard, brought it into the front to make very gentle sloping mounds. And this shows the flagstaff that goes up to the walkway, and some details of the use of rocks, lots of succulents. Another view of the fences. And this is a very welcoming spot near the front door where she had potted plants. So the accents were the lavender and orange accents within the succulent community. Another detail of looking at some of the special plants, and I believe that's the New Zealand flax. She said that she worked with a landscaper and helped her to design the garden, and especially was aware of making different heights and different textures. It's quite a dramatic looking house, and you can see the day we were there, it was so beautiful with the sky behind it. There's a detail of that, maybe papyrus.
I don't think it's papyrus. I think it's a kind of stripy zebra bamboo.
Oh, thanks, Heather.
So great, we have someone to identify. Thank you. So you can see that the judges were impressed with this house and this plants, and some of the things they said. The fence gives privacy to the entry and a dramatic artistic feature. There are small mounds in the front with a variety of heights. Creative use of plants that add pops of color and height variances. Tall grasses next to the house make a nice backdrop to the all lower colorful mounds. Placement of smaller and medium plants provide a look of unity. The dark mulch matches the tone of the fence and the house. A strong, simple, and coherent garden. She was very cordial too when we met. It was nice to have her come out and visit with us. And we miss her today. There's our presentation and Alexandra close up. I didn't know I was that short. For those of you who are new, the gardens are presented with a sign, and the sign stays in their garden for about 6 months. And thank you to Joyce for picking that one up for me. Appreciate it.
Yes.
There are 3 different designs of our signs, and picked that one with the succulents to go with this garden. And I think you saw the other one in Martha's presentation. So the winners receive, a check for plant vine, and Martha and her husband Greg generously gave that check back to the garden club.
Oh.
Thank you, Martha. They receive a certificate. They have the sign in the front yard, and they receive a year's membership in the garden club, and we hope that it continues.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's our fine group of people who came out to the presentation. You can see Barbara there in the front.
Yes.
No. No, Barbara's not there.
All right,
One more. There we go.
Yeah.
and thank you. I wanted to make a special acknowledgement to Martha, who put together the slideshow for us.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you.
And
At
Joyce.
this time, we're going to collect the name tags. And thank you, Chris, for running our slideshow.
Good job. That was very haphazard. Because of course I put together the show, but I didn't do any other talking. Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you. You did great. Can you tell the teacher of her garden, Martha?
Another thank you to Joyce Hennessy for a lot of the photographs that were in our slides.
I'm sorry?
The garden, her garden, as she was talking, is that possible, please? Yeah. There, yes, thank you.
So project that? Uh-huh. It takes a sec. Oh. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know why it's not working, sorry.
Don't go away, we're going to have our door prize. So, ladies,